Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. Well, guys, that is the calf huts mucked out. They were getting full again, and I figured you could reach over. I figured out you could reach over the fence. We'll just simulate we shoveled all that in there. Not worth shifting 30 calves to get that where it needs to be. We did have 7 calves overnight, which means we have a new calf hut over here. We're out of room in the other 6, so we're up to 7 calf huts. They have food, they have water. They are going to need some straw, which is going to be our next task, and then the animals have to be fed. So we'll get on to that next, but we have a couple of little progress updates for today, or challenges. We got to get through a little bit of both. So first and foremost, I did turn the greenhouse production down a little bit. We were at a pretty high production rate, and we just don't need to be that high anymore. We're making good money. I don't want to just be producing hundreds of thousands of dollars out of the greenhouses. That's not what this playthrough is about. So I did dial that down a little bit. In addition, just got to get a couple of straw bales out here. In addition, we did get enough money overnight. I think we're going to pay off our small loan. So let's actually jump in and take a look at that real quick. Shouldn't have much left on it. We have 26,542. We can easily pay that off. So I think we're just going to go ahead and start that. So 26,543 to get it paid off. Make special payment. And that is done. So now we're down to just the $4,614 payment on our big $250,000 loan. That loan is at 3.5% for 60 months, and we are exactly halfway through at 30 months. So I think we're going to try to continue chipping away at that loan and get it paid off here quickly, because the fastest way to make money is to stop giving it away. So we're going to try to get all that done. Let's get our straw blower loaded up here. And I'm trying to think how we want to do this. I'm thinking we probably want to go straight in square and go 3 tall and just try to hold it in there with the... I'm going to jump in here so I can see these forks, so we can hold them in there with that back lifter. So here we are in cab, nice and smooth. Can't go fast with 3 bales. Let's see if we can get this done. Come over here and get squared up a bit. Alright, we're getting awfully close. Nope, don't want to bounce. Tip those forward. Let's lower a little bit. Slowly. Okay. Did we lose one over the front? Is that what happened? Seems likely that we dumped one on the cab somewhere. Oh, nope, it's on our head. Well, guys, I found the bale. Not sure what to tell you guys, but it's on our head. So let's go ahead and see if we can't knock that off. No wonder I couldn't find it. All right, that was funny, guys. So we'll grab this one. And maybe just have this one ready for the next batch. We'll just park them over here. Let's go blow some straw. And we'll get these held in here. So we're going to get all the pens, including the calf pens today. So we got a little bit of straw to blow. The Teen Town and the regular birthing barn shouldn't be too bad. They don't use a ton of straw. In addition to having 7 calves today, we did have 12 pregnant cows or heifers. And we did have, I think, 4 calves move up from... Oh, we didn't get the muck out of that one. That didn't work very well. Now, we got the trigger for these last time. Are we too close? I swear we had these. Let's see. I think maybe we were just too close and we need to get out over here a little bit. Nope. Okay, do we need to go down the sides? Is that where we're going to get the trigger? I don't know, guys. We did this in a previous episode and I didn't feel like it was that hard. Alright, no triggers there. We can always put it in the old-fashioned way. Just thought we were going to be able to blow in... Oh, I had it there for a second. Man, it popped up for just a split second there. Is it tight on the igloo here? Man, it does not want to cooperate, does it? We'll go nice and slow. Huh. That's a weird one, guys. We had no problems with that previously. Well, not a big deal. We will come up here, up there, and see we got it there. You guys see that? We had it there for just a second. Once again, like just a moment. We need to be much further away. It's almost like the angle of the blower needs to be in more. Now, okay. We won't mess with it. We have a bale we can use. It is not a problem. We have lots of straw to blow in here. And done. Great. Let's get this guy parked out of the way. And I think we'll leave him right over here. You know what I wonder? Let me try one thing. So we have it on straw blower. What happens if we put it on tip side unload? Maybe that the trigger in the trailer is too tall when we're going for the blower. And it sure doesn't seem like it. Not having a lot of luck getting that trigger to pop up. Gave it the old college try. Okay, if that's not going to work, we'll give it one more by the front. Nope. We are done and done. So, let's tuck him out of the way. Oh, the collision on the back of the feed truck. I forgot about the collision on the back of the feed truck, guys. Come on, let go of me. Yeah, there's definitely just something sticking out there that is getting caught on our tractor. Alright, all done with that. Get the help menu turned off. We don't need that running around. Alright, so let's go ahead and we got to get this straw done and we got to come back and get one more. We were having trouble with the straw today, guys. Definitely didn't want to drop it in there. We don't want to leave that in there. Let's see if we can get it out. Didn't take any straw either. That's weird. I don't know what to tell you, guys. This is a bit baffling. Did they all fill up and we just didn't get a trigger? Was that it? Because there's that... With that recent update, was it 1.5 or 1.9 where the thing's now empty? Yeah, straw. Okay, so 1800, 1800. Yeah, they all filled, guys. That is crazy. Where is... Yeah, so this calf hut, even the other one filled. That's insane. So it's just not giving us any indication. So once you have a trailer or container like a water tender that starts emptying, it just empties at every trigger you drive by until it's empty, and it doesn't always give you a good indication. We just weren't getting that with the straw blower. I'm wondering if part of that is because the straw blower was getting it full so quick that it wasn't registering. So that's interesting. It did work. I knew we'd filled them before, so it's good news I'm not losing my mind on this particular instance. There will certainly be other things that we can lose our mind about, but that is not one of them. So let's grab our bucket, because we forgot to muck that one calf pen. We'll grab that. While we're here, I just want to, before I forget, can we? Nope. Okay. I don't know if you guys have this issue or not either, but my construction menu, some of the games as I'm playing, I can relabel and rename things, and sometimes that menu doesn't work. I have to restart, and right now it's not working, so we're just going to continue on. So let's get this one mucked. Oh, come on. Get in there. I think we used this one to top off one of the other ones, so we didn't come back to it. I think we did get it a first time in the time lapse, but you guys probably know better than me at this stage. So, get this thrown into the second greenhouse. Try to keep them relatively even. They're getting fed by the big manure heap, so it's not a big deal, but try to keep manure where it needs to be. I did some looking between episodes at a solution for our manure and slurry, and realistically, without doing something silly like producing fertilizer, which we could just sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, or running a BGA, I have not found a way to effectively use that stuff to generate a production or anything else. So we may just hold on to it. We'll have to see what comes about, but I'm not looking to put in a production that's going to make just hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and sort of push us to the end of this challenge, because I really want the money-making part was meant to be, you know, stage 2 of the challenge. Getting the herd up was stage 1, and we're certainly well on our way with the herd. We have more work to do, but in regards to the money, we are just scratching the surface. We are going to be here for a bit of time before we get to that $4 million mark to offset everything. So we don't want to take away the challenge of getting there. So let's get the remainder of our TMR filled in here, and then we'll jump out. We'll make one batch here real quick. Just come down here, get parked up nice and square, lever running. So let's see, in here, and we are at the point where we are, you know, it's spring, so we're getting through, but definitely could use some more straw or some more grass, some more silage. So we want 3 of these bales, and then I think we did just 2 hay, but we could do 3 and just drop the extra one off at the Teen Town barn. So let's grab these. We gotta remember to grab them low. Get that dumped in here. Oh, don't pull the whole thing over, guy. Come on. We said we were getting good with this skid steer, and here we are dumping trucks on their side almost. Luckily, we got away with it. To keep tipping this one forward a little bit as we go to keep it level, so we don't lose that top one. And this one we may just have to wait until the bottom one fills in. Man, we are pulling on that truck and I'm not even moving. Alright, so now that one we should be able to dump in. There we are. And, you know, why not go for broke? We're sitting here. Things went well at the first couple of bales. We didn't, you know, didn't almost pull the truck over, didn't get stuck. So, you know, why not just grab all 3 of these at once and see if we can do something clever. It's usually when you get yourself in troubles, when you try to do more than you should. Lift that up a little bit. Gonna see how these next 2 fall. Let's see. There we go. 1,500, 1,000, and the next two are in. Can we can back out. Nice. Let's pop this back in here. All right, so that is full. Now this may be a good example. The idea here is to get these hay bales to get pulled out over here. We do not want to put hay into the breeding barn. Yeah, so see, one's already gone. Is the other gonna catch? Because unfortunately, with the way the new unloading system works, that same problem we just had with the straw, it ends up unloading the hay first and separately. Maybe this one's full. Maybe that's it. Let's see. Where is the Teen Town? No, they're not full. So let's jump out. We'll just grab that bale. I just don't want to end up with hay in the other barn. Yeah, maybe it was taking it. It was just being slow. We'll have to see. But we have 32,000 liters of TMR in our mixer truck. This thing has been just a blessing to have, making it way easier to get these guys fed. The birthing barn is averaging, I'll check in before we dump it here, but it's averaging like 30,000 liters of TMR a day for these cows. So having to do that 3 times with our old mixing wagon. Let's jump in and take a quick check before we start dumping. We know we already put a couple in there. So yeah, they have 33,500 out of 60, and we put 3,000 or 4,000 in already. So they went through 30,000 liters since yesterday. This barn they are eating a lot of food. What's really interesting, I saw a test video, and I really wish I remember who did it because they deserve a lot of credit, but they tested all they did 6 cow barns, 6 identical cows. And this was not with a realistic livestock mod, but they tested 1 cow per barn in 6 barns and fed them, I think it was grass, or it was hay, silage, and TMR, and then checked it against their milk production, and obviously the TMR won. What was really interesting though was they did 3 barns with straw and 3 barns without straw, and all 3, they had 1 hay, 1 silage, 1 TMR, and the barns without straw produced more milk. I thought that was absolutely crazy, and it was like, I think the barn with straw produced like 1,100 liters of milk, and the one without produced like 1,400. It was like a 20 or 25% increase over the other option, which was just insane that not having straw would cause the cows to produce more milk. I thought that was really, really interesting. So, I don't get into a lot of testing videos, but that one was really interesting, and it related to what we're doing here. I'm not going to cut the straw out for our current cows. We're playing with a, in quotes, realistic mindset, which is, mostly a play on words for Arrow's realistic livestock mod. But we are trying to do things at least mostly the right way. And I think keeping cows in a barn without straw is just, I don't know, maybe cruel or unusual. So we'll avoid doing that. Speaking of Arrow and the realistic livestock mod, Arrow released a new mod today called Employment, where you can get a job, and it looks like you can get education and like a master's degree and a bachelor's degree, and you get paid more money, with the idea being that you would be able to, like a lot of farmers have a part-time job because farm work doesn't keep them busy year-round. They don't have, a 1,500 acre farm or a 3,000 acre farm. So they have, either a part-time job or a full-time job, and they farm in season. And his new employment mod is meant to sort of mimic that, and you can improve your education to get yourself a better job and make more money. That is a really, really cool mod. I'm not sure it's something that I'm going to play with, just from something that I'm not sure works with my play style. But I thought, you know, once again, there's Arrow just resetting the way we play Farm Sim and bringing in some incredible role play opportunities and realism opportunities. So check out the new employment mod. It is on the Mod Hub. You can download it today. And I believe it is PC only, like all of his mods, but really, really cool. So buying animals, we have been doing this every episode. May as well keep the trend. No point in changing it up if it's working for us. Now, here's one thing I haven't been doing. This is a 46-month-old animal. We don't want 46-month-old animals. That's just not a good way for us to build our herd. Was there another one up here? No. Okay. I want to make sure we didn't have any other older animals as well. And we do have one of the other things I want to talk to you guys about for the ranch today is we are having, I think the age of our bulls is starting to come into play. So we're not getting as many pregnant females out of our breeding pen. Now, the caveat to that is we have a lot more females in there and we still only have the same 2 bulls we've had the whole time. So I'm not sure if we are getting, if it's a statistic thing, like we just have more females, so we're not seeing as many pregnancies, but it sure seems to me like the older bulls are not getting as many females pregnant each month as they used to. And again, I could be making all of that up. It could just be my impression, but I'm thinking what we're going to do today is try to mix up the bulls, either take out the old ones or add in new ones so that we can see if we can get more females pregnant. Now that's going to be both good and bad news. That's a very, very nice Hereford cow queen, nice heifer. And that's going to be a blessing and a curse because we are going to need more space if we end up with a lot more cows pregnant. It also means that there's a chance that our cows could eat, at least in our birthing barn, could eat their way out of all of the food in one day. Like we'd be filling it multiple times a day. So may have to look at some changes just as far as getting our animals fed and taken care of. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This would be 8. This would be 9. Sorry, just keeping track. Just have to make some changes to make sure that we are able to feed and take care of all of our animals. So there's 10, but what we really want is water buffalo, and there just are not good water buffalo. Okay, so that's 10 animals for today. Let's take a quick peek in the sale, see what we have. There's that Fendt we talked about. All right, so down here, the Annaberger, we don't need that. The Valtra T Series, that is an interesting tractor. Starts at 210 horsepower, goes to 271. It is probably as big of a tractor as we're going to need on this playthrough. It is $82,000. And it does, I mean, I guess we don't need the front weight option. We can just get rid of that. But it does have, it has the upgraded motor, so it's 230 horsepower already for free. Man, that is an interesting option. I don't know. We'll have to watch it and see how much money we have next month. That's going to be a bit much for us right now. Here's our existing trailer. I think we got a better deal than this on it. I have been considering going to chaff to make silage in larger quantities long term. We certainly don't have $300,000 to get that done. Interesting that the Vermeer came up for sale after we just bought the straw blower the other month. A huge slurry tank, but we don't have a 300 horsepower tractor. Couple other items. We have our barrel here on sale for $110. I don't think it's worth swapping that out now. And of course, here is our here's our sprayer we bought last month. It's on sale for 60% off. We may end up swapping that one between episodes, try to make some money. Other than that, I'd love to have a JCB, but Again, 136,000. That is 306 horsepower. That seems really, really big. It would allow us to pull a third one of these. Oh, this is not the case we have. Look, there's 0 that we own. I thought that was the one we own, but it's not. But I'm not sure we want to try to pull through or pull 3. The Anderson Hybrid Extractor. How much is our Anderson worth? $20,000. So we got that on sale. So now there's no point in buying that and trading that. We're not doing anhydrous. Yeah, I think that's about it. So nothing in the sale for us today either. Let's head back with our animals. And guys, this is sort of where we're at. We got to keep pushing to get the ranch bigger, but there's just a lot of repetition in what we're doing now. So I'm trying to give you guys a view of different projects each day. That's why we started with the calf mucking today. Try to get you guys updated on the changes, like our new igloo. We still need to figure out what we're going to do about our bulls when we get back there. I think what we'll do is we'll just throw 2 of our better bulls into the breeding pen. Now I did forget to mention, I have been seeing a lot of our cows and heifers in the breeding pen. When I check on them to move them over, are saying no suitable animal for breeding. And that oftentimes happens when I move them from the birthing barn to the breeding pen. It takes a little while for them to recognize that there is a bull in the pen with them. But this was like 6 or 7 animals this morning, and I didn't move that many over. So I'm wondering if our bulls, which are both getting up there in age, and we'll take a look at them when we get back there, I'm wondering if there's something in the realistic livestock mod that these older animals are not going to breed anymore. We also have a couple of cows. I think we have a cow that's like at the 60 or 60 plus month mark that may not breed or may not get bred again. So we'll have to check on all of that. So let's get these guys situated. We have a bunch of teens, a couple of heifers. I know the only spot we have open for calves, and I didn't even think about it, guys. I just went ahead and bought all of those calves, and we may not be able to get them all into the last igloo. So maybe placing another igloo today. That would be a not very good way to spend our money and time, is buying animals we don't have pens for, but, we'll figure it out either way. So here we are, first stop on the train. Let's see, any of the adolescent animals. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 adolescents, move selected. Why does it say 4? Because we didn't select that one. Move selected, move to husbandry. You guys know the routine at this point. We got to go in and find them and give them the old February of 4 tag. There's 2 February of 4 snowball. We got a bunch of ones in here that are already done. Here's 3 February of 4. There's 4 of them of the 5 we need. And where is our last one? Was it one of these down here? Yep, right here. Change name. February of 4. Make sure we didn't miss any at the bottom. I don't think we did. Great. So we are done in here. I did move all the animals around already today. So these, we only have to do the animals that we brought back with us from the animal dealer. Here we go. This is going to be seeing if BP can drive a trailer backwards for any real distance, because we got to get all the way back to our 7th igloo. Nope. Oh, I think we're actually just running over the manure, but still. I want to get that corner cut a little cleaner. Yeah, we're hitting the manure. I thought first we were hitting the calf enclosure, but we're not. Really? You're not going to give me the trigger on that, huh? There we go. 1 and 2. Move selected animals. All right, so we only bought 2, so we weren't in trouble on that. we can fit them in, but that is literally it. We are out of space after this. Glad we got a water buffalo calf. Really want that buffalo milk like we've been talking about for a couple episodes now. Can we make this corner is the next question, because this trigger's a little bit sensitive. We get enough of it in there? We sure did. Okay, so we have a limousine and a Hereford we got to get labeled. We can't do it ahead of time, can we? No, we can't. So that's all right. Limousine and a Hereford. Here we go. Limousine. Oh, there's only two. This will be super easy. And our Hereford. Here we go. Already has a name. Super. All right, and we're set up to swing the trailer around and get it parked out of the way. Look at all of those adolescents, guys. Look at Teen Town. Look in there. They are. Look at all those animals. We have so many that are going to be able to be bred soon. Will be bulls that will sell off for, as meat animals. Lots and lots of cattle coming onto the ranch and getting grown up and ready to go. So let's go ahead and drop everything here. Gonna go grab my herdsman stick and let's go take a look at the bull situation. So here we are. We have our herdsman stick. I want to show you guys the bulls first. It's a very interesting situation with these guys. Jump in right here. All right, so our two bulls, we have an Angus bull rogue who is 39 months, which isn't too terribly old, but I just don't know if he's getting up there and not finding animals to breed. Our slow Oni bull is 34 months, so they're really not that old. There is Sprinkles. Sprinkles is 40 months. I thought we had one that was like in the 60s. In regards to a cattle, let's see, unless she got, maybe she got pregnant and we moved her, could be. Yeah, so not too bad, 29 months, yeah, 34, so, I don't know, maybe we need 4 bulls in a pen with that many cows and heifers, I just don't know. So let's come over here and let's take a look at what animals we think are going to be good. So this animal is very good, very good. We have some very nice animals. Okay, so let's just, they're all very high. Let's figure out how many. This one has 1 extremely high, 1 extremely high, 3 extremely high. Okay, Godfrey, I know where you're going, buddy. Godfrey, you're going in the trailer. Move selected. Move to trailer. Okay. And then we don't need a limousine bull. And because we have Godfrey, unless any of these guys have 3 extremely highs or more, they don't. And then Admiral is our other water buffalo bull. He's 30 months. He's only of good quality and only has 1 very high ranking. So maybe we need to buy a water buffalo bull. Let's run Godfrey over here. Let's go to 3 bulls in here and see if that results in more cows becoming pregnant. So Godfrey, you are moved in and good to go. And then let's just check and see no animals to move or sell. Let's put down the stick. Let's come back over here. And okay, so these are the animals for sale. Water buffalo bulls. So there's a very good, look at that guy, huh? Extremely high across the board. Okay, so this guy is going to come to us. He's 10 months old. We'll buy him and put him in the bullpen over here, and he'll age up in 2 months. So he'll be, February, March, April. He'll be ready to go, and we'll make sure we're getting as many of the water buffalo pregnant as we can. So let's see. This is maybe the best animal we've ever seen, guys. Okay. Buy selected, 1,200, plus we're going to pay a fee because we didn't drive up there and get him. But we'll just say he was imported from somewhere. Let's see, where is Where's our guy? He is from... doesn't even tell us anymore. We'll give him a name. Fred. Fred, you're our new stud bull for the water buffalo. We'll see you in 2 months. We'll move you back over. So let's see if that changes what happens in our breeding pen at all. I'm not sure it will. I don't know. Again, it could just be a pure number. You may need a certain number of bulls with a certain number of cows and heifers. It might just be a statistical issue where it's just there's only a certain probability of getting pregnant. It could be that our bulls are getting older. We just don't know how that mod works entirely yet, but I do want to try to keep you know, not a lot of animals in the breeding pen so we can keep them turned over and giving birth, because right now I should run back here and just check real quick. You know, we have 54 animals. Is that accurate? Yeah, 54 animals in the barn, in the birthing barn. Now, some of those are in recovery, but essentially we have about 54 calves on the way because some of them do have twins and triplets as well. So our herd is continuing to grow. So 54 there. We have 34 calves. So that's 88. Let's do a head count today, guys. 88 plus 40 is 128. Oh boy, we got a lot of animals. 128, 130, 150 plus what's in here. We have 160 cattle on the farm, guys. That is great news. We are more than halfway to our goal. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.